Broadcasting from Manhattan Beach and the World Wide Web, you're listening to CHSR, HealthyLife.net.
As a service to our listeners, this program is for general information and entertainment purposes only. CHSR HealthyLife.net does not recommend, endorse, or object to the views, products, or topics expressed or discussed by show hosts or their guests. We suggest you always consult with your own personal, medical, financial, or legal advisor.
Hey everyone, welcome to Pep Talk. Sharky Zartman here, and today we are going to get some excellent coaching from our guests, Mike Gellman and Lisa Dalton. Now, Mike Gellman is a seasoned organizational consultant coach and the author of Pipe Dreams. He takes the mystery out of the unspoken rules of engagement that every employee should know. We also have Lisa Dalton, a speaker, author, and coach who specializes in life transitions and personal and professional creative expression. And first up is Mike Gellman, who for over 15 years has devoted his career to helping employees achieve their potential in corporate and nonprofit environments. He is the author of Pipe Dreams, 7 Pipelines of Career Success. If you are stuck or unhappy in your career, Mike has an insider's perspective into key factors that effective employees master and has the answers for people who truly want to take charge of their careers. So welcome, Mike.
Hello there, Sharky.
Hello. Well, I'm very excited to get to talk to you. I was just reading a survey the other day in terms of people being frustrated on the job. They said over 70% of people say that they are unhappy and frustrated with their current job. So I think you have a wide audience for your book.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of employees that are frustrated with their current situation.
Right. So I know that you do a lot of coaching and help people, but why did you write the book?
You know, as a consultant, mostly as an internal consultant to the company I work for, I've had a lot of employees over the years who, have come to me feeling stuck and not seeing anywhere to go, and they're either stressed out about their current job or not feeling fulfilled in some way. And oftentimes they're looking to their managers to get them the next great job or to fix things for them. And so this kept coming up time and time again, and what I realized is that my clients weren't taking ownership of their own careers. And so the main reason I wrote this book was to help employees, help individuals take charge of their own careers and with the tools and strategies that can help them do that.
Okay. I noticed that all your pipelines in your book or all your tips start with a P. Did you do that on purpose?
Yes. That was just a fun alliteration on my part to do the P's.
Okay. All right. I don't know that we'll get to all 7 of them, but can you share a few of your favorite tips, the pipelines?
Sure. I think one of the traps that employees fall into is not being clear on what they want. And so I would say the preferences, that's one of the pipes, preferences. So being clear on what is it that you like? What are the things that energize you? There's many things that also de-energize us. So I talk about that a bit in the book. And so many times, as you mentioned, 70% of people are unhappy in their jobs. Many times they're not doing the things that they're passionate about, and they've got a lot of things that just suck the life out of them or drain their energy. And so that's one of my favorite ones. And to the extent that we can get clear, what it is we love to do and what we need to manage around or avoid, that's a good good part of the process.
Right. I have a question about that. It's I know a lot of people would love to have a job that they're passionate about, but sometimes they don't end up with one. They're just trying to make money to make ends meet. How can they be passionate about a job that they don't really like?
That's a great question. It's not easy, that's for sure. And I've had my own ups and downs throughout my career. One of the strategies is, if you're clear on what you do like to do, oftentimes there's ways to build more of that into your current job. And so with one of my clients, for example, they like to connect people to other people. And so one of the things they would do is get involved in different committees and things of that nature that were in the organization that gave them an opportunity to meet new people and to help others, connect between different departments or, inside, outside the company. So finding activities that you enjoy that you can do more of. Some of it may involve some negotiation with your boss or with peers. An example of that is I had there was a point in time in my career where we had a restructuring and the manager had a meeting, and the manager was asking us to kind of go around and say, what is it, we love to do or hate to do. And one of the things I personally that do not like to do at all that makes me feel pretty low is administrivia. So all the details
Good term.
related to scheduling, to expense reports, to just, all the nitty-gritty details. And we were going around the table, and one of my coworkers says, you know what, I'd love to be the go-to person for all the little stuff. And she went on and on about the types of things she likes to do. And I'm like, hallelujah.
Yay.
God bless diversity, yeah. So oftentimes there's things that maybe we don't love that, one of our coworkers does. Mm-hmm. And so by being clear on what we want, you can have that conversation, and maybe that's something you can trade off. Okay.
All right. Whenever you're working in a situation, I think it's important that the other workers feel like, you guys have something in common. You're part of a team. And yet I see a lot of administrators, because I work at a college, and I'm sure a lot of CEOs that don't treat their employees like that. They treat them individually. Would you agree?
There's definitely a lot of that going around, sure, especially in these times of, do more with less. And so a lot of people are feeling under the gun, and a lot of leaders are certainly not focused on the impact it's having. At the same time, I would say there is definitely a trend and a realization about employee engagement and how that affects a company's performance. So, in fact, many CEOs and executives nowadays are paying a lot closer attention to what impacts employee engagement and how can we build that within the organization. So I would say that's a positive trend there.
Okay, good. Love to see more of that. So, your section on myths, I really like the myths. You had 10 of them. Can you share a couple with us? Because you talk about how we're naturally attracted to these myths for some reason, but they also have consequences. So can you share a couple of them with us?
Sure. I'll start with the first one. The first myth is really if I keep my head down and work hard and perform well, the right person's going to notice me and tap me on the shoulder for that next great opportunity. Mm-hmm. I see a lot of this, and it ties into one of the other myths as well, that my work should speak for itself. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, you could be the best worker, but if nobody knows about you, then you're not going to get very far in advancing your career. And so it takes something more, and it takes a little bit of becoming more visible. And what I like to tell my clients is you don't want to be your company's best kept secret. You know, that hidden gem that's not serving you, and it's not serving the company oftentimes because, you know, you may have talents that you're not able to use in your current job that you can use elsewhere in the organization. So that would be one of the myths. Do you want me to cover another?
Sure.
Okay. So I would say that another one would be I've been pigeonholed or blacklisted and can't go anywhere. I hear that a lot. You know, it's Mike, I've worked in this job for 10 years, 15 years, and you know, as a data analyst or whatever it may be, as a customer service rep or as an engineer, whatever it may be, and I just feel that I have no place to go. And I've interviewed for jobs, and you know, I'm always coming in second or third. I never get the job. So, you know, one of the myths around that is taking a look at yourself. How are you positioning yourself for people to see you differently? So if all you've done is crunch numbers, what are you doing to help give people a different perception of what you can do? So number one, have you shared what your aspirations are? Kind of plant that seed. You know I'm doing this, but what I'd love to do or what would love to try out would be, you know, this marketing thing over here or whatever it may be. The second thing would be just being able to volunteer for things that are outside of your role. And so that might be a challenging assignment, what we would call a stretch assignment, and having that conversation with your boss or peers and volunteer, step up to do something that's outside your typical role. And that's a way for people to see you in a different light. Many of us volunteer. We have organizations that we hold dear, and we volunteer a lot of time, and we may chair a committee or be on the board of a nonprofit organization. You know, that's something to bring into your conversations with your boss. That's not something they may see at work, but if that's a skill you have, don't discount it. That's of value to the organization, and that can help you change people's perceptions and consider you for other opportunities. Okay,
good. I know that you've probably heard of organizations that have really horrible bosses. We have one administrator at our college, and his modus operandum, believe it or not, is no one is valued and everyone is replaceable, which puts a lot of strain on everybody to, compete and stuff, but it's creating a really negative, unhealthy environment. So what can people do when their boss has that kind of an attitude?
One of the things, I would say a few things. First thing is taking care of yourself. So that self-care, knowing what you need to do to alleviate the stress of that situation, of having a horrible or toxic boss, as some may call them. And the basics, right? Are you getting enough sleep? Are you having fun outside of work? To balance things out, getting together with friends. Personally, I like to meditate, so I meditate every morning as soon as I get up. It's just a way, again, to help detach from what's going on and kind of let go of some of the negativity that may be going on around you. So, taking care of yourself is certainly one thing. A second is getting clear on what the boundaries are. With your boss. So you may need to have a difficult conversation with your boss and be clear on what is it you're willing to accept and not accept. And it's not easy.
Right.
It's definitely not easy. It's scary. So a lot of times it can be helpful to either work with a trusted friend or a coach or whomever, around you to kind of brainstorm how you might approach your boss and have that type of conversation, because what your boss might not realize as well, they may have an attitude of, everybody's replaceable. They might not realize some of the hidden costs of that. It costs a lot of money to replace people, and to hire someone new, versus spend a little more time and effort with the care and feeding of current employees. So we kind of setting some boundaries for yourself, and at the same time learning to detach somewhat sometimes,
right,
from how you would really like things to go versus how they are. And the third thing is, we all have choices. So having options or a focus on your future, it's like, okay, this isn't working for me now, but I know that the direction I'm heading is going to be over here. So to the extent that we have a future focus and spend some time, what is it we want for ourselves, and start taking action in that direction, that gives us hope. And when we have hope, that helps us deal with a lot of the junk that we may deal with an unsupportive boss.
Exactly. Okay, good advice. Thank you for sharing that. You talk about the role that space plays in a person's career health. What do you mean by space?
By space, do you have time to think, number one? That's one example. Do you have time to think? So, space, like if you're thinking about a dance, right? I don't know if you dance at all, but for the listeners, I'm sure there's listeners that like to dance. And so if you have space around you, you have room to move into that space and be creative and create something new. And so space plays an important role. Same with your career. If you are running around with your head cut off all the time with busyness, then your opportunities tend to contract. You miss opportunities that others might have seen for your own development and your own growth. And so an example for me is I used to run, I commute from Orange County to L.A. and, take the train oftentimes and, run for the train. And so I got in this habit of, cutting things down to the minute, to get to the subway and then the train. And I realized, I had a mentor at the time who said, is that really how you want to be spending your time, your energy, your creativity, to have that accomplishment? And, the answer just hit me like a brick, like, no, that's meaningless. That's meaningless. So what I needed to do was create some more shifts. And it's not always easy. Many of us are doing, enough work for 2 jobs, sometimes more than that. But that can take some prioritization and again, carving out the time for ourselves so that we can have the space to explore possibilities.
Right. I like the idea of space and having our own time, because a lot of people get so involved in their jobs, not just their careers, but also their personal family lives and responsibilities, kids, and sometimes there's very little time for them.
Exactly.
Yeah, and so it's important that we make time, because we should be our number one priority, right?
Yeah, if you look at the financial advisors, what do they advise when they're saving for retirement, right? The mantra is pay yourself first. Pay yourself first. Just if you have automatic deductions, have it taken out of your paycheck, first. For your retirement. So it's a similar concept with, taking care of yourself, to whatever you need that's going to rejuvenate you along the way and help you manage the daily stressors or situations that arise.
Okay. Let's talk about what some of the most common problems are that your coaching clients struggle with. Are there some that keep coming up?
Yeah, absolutely. I alluded to one earlier before, so not being clear on what you want. I had an employee that, not just one, many clients who were frustrated that their manager wasn't shopping them around, for example. And this one employee in particular, after she was done venting, I said, well, would you be happy if your manager got you a job in IT? And she said, no. Would you be happy if you got one in the, procurement department? No. And so this went on and on. I said, well, so, it became obvious. So what is it that you want? And she wasn't able to answer.
Mm-hmm.
And so, how could her boss help her even if her boss wanted to, right? She wasn't clear and able to articulate what she wanted. A second thing would be navigating the company. How do I navigate, particularly in a medium-sized company or large company? That's something that I often hear is the political. How do I navigate the politics? So if I want another position in the company, do I tell my boss first or do I tell my boss after? How do I navigate? How do I find out about other opportunities? Is it okay to talk to other managers or directors that aren't my own in the company? How do I, so a lot of those, how do I negotiate for a raise? So a lot of things around the etiquette and political sensitivities of managing one's career. If I get offered a job and I don't like it, what will happen if I say no? Will that tank my career?
Right.
I take it if I know I'll be miserable anyway. So.
Okay. All right. Well, we're just about out of time. So can you tell us where we can find your book and how we can contact you?
Sure. My book is available on Amazon.com, and they can also go to my website, MikeGellman.com, MikeGellman.com.
Okay, and the name of your book is Pipe Dreams, 7 Pipelines of Career Success. Correct?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, good. Great book, and thanks for joining us today, Mike. Some really good suggestions.
Great. Thank you.
All right, we'll be back with more Pep Talk and Shark to Heart right after this.
With a little Shark Sense, you can improve your life. Shark Sense, a new book by Sharky Zartman, is a book that can teach you survival instincts. It pumps you up to live your life fully regardless of what life dishes out. Shark Sense, a fast read with tested principles right from the shark's survival traits. You can do anything. Tap into your inner shark and get your copy of Shark Sense right now. Available at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and at sharksense.org.
I'm William Shatner, and this is Jimmy. Animals like Jimmy are often left behind by people fleeing hurricanes, fires, floods, and earthquakes. These abandoned animals cannot survive on their own. If you must evacuate your home, please never leave an animal behind. If you absolutely cannot take your animal with you, never leave him helplessly chained or caged. Many animals die because they cannot escape fires or rising waters. Animals need your help. Thank you.
Call PETA today, 757-622-PETA.
These shoes are made for walking, jumping, running, and just plain style. Over 32,000 styles. Skechers, an award-winning global leader in lifestyle footwear. And now you can get Skechers without walking, jumping, or running. You can get them by clicking. Scroll down HealthyLife.net's homepage and click. You can check out Skechers, high-quality shoes in styles for men, women, and children. So get in style. Get Skechers today and start walking, running, jumping, and strutting in style.
For more than 20 years, Homeboy Industries has made a difference in the lives of former gang members and at-risk youth in Los Angeles. Their free programs and services have given hope and opportunity to thousands and their signature businesses. Homeboy Bakery, Homegirl Cafe and Catering, Homeboy Silkscreen and Embroidery, and Homeboy Merchandise offers hands-on training in a safe work environment. Donate to Homeboy today and help them continue their important work. To find out more, call 323-526-1254 or visit online at www.homeboy-industries.org. South Bay Saturdays, catch the best of 7, the best of the HealthyLife.net news at 7, 1 p.m. Pacific Time, Saturdays, only on HealthyLife.net radio.
We are back with more Pep Talk, and next up is Shark to Heart. And I've got to tell you, I'm always on the lookout for new fitness programs and have tried several in the last few years. And since I'm a former athlete, I tend to gravitate toward the more challenging activities, those that are intense, because that's the way I like to train. So things like boot camp, body pump, power vinyasa, hot yoga, Tabata, those kinds of things I really kind of get out and try to explore. So my dad shared a book with me the other day, a fitness book, and he told me to check it out. It's called The Slow Burn Fitness Revolution. And when I looked at the book, I saw Revolution. I went, oh, I've got to check this out. It's new. But then the subtitle almost ruined it for me. The subtitle is The Slow Motion Fitness Revolution That Will Change Your Body in 30 Minutes a Week. Now, at first I thought that was a typo. I thought, how can anything change your body in 30 minutes a week? And I thought maybe that's a day, but my dad said no, it's 30 minutes a week. And so I immediately thought to myself, all right, here it comes. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is, but I still wanted to try it. And since my dad is really smart, he's 91 years old, and he looks and acts 30 years younger. And so I read most of the book and decided to try the workout at the gym. And so this program involves resistance training, training your muscles. And you can either do the exercises at home or at the gym. So I decided to do it at the gym since I have my favorite machines there in my routine. And normally when I work out with weights, I usually do 3 sets of high endurance, usually 15 to 20 reps, or I'll do pyramids where I will change the sets with the weights and sometimes do high weight, low reps, or high reps, low weight. And so I'm usually doing between 3 and 5 sets on each of my exercises. And so I chose the same exercises to do at the gym since I'm familiar with the equipment, but the slow burn is totally different. You only need to do 3 reps for each exercise, 1 set, but you do them really, really, really slow. And they also recommend that you do the exercise with a metronome, so you keep the slow pace. But I decided just to count. So my first exercise was my favorite. It's the lat pull down. I love this machine, and I found my starting weight. I usually can lift anywhere, I usually can lift 90 pounds on that. And I decided, well, you know, since I'm only doing 3 reps, maybe I better, and, you know, it's really slow, I better go down a little bit. So I went down to 70 pounds, and I thought, yeah, that should be fine. I should be able to do this for 90 seconds. And then I started my slow burn set. Now, the lat pull down, you have to reach up and you have to pull a bar down. That works your lats, and then slowly raise it up to the top. And normally, I don't do this really fast. I just do it at a normal pace. But for the slow burn, they have you go down for 1 inch, hold that for 3 seconds, and then lower all the way down 1 inch at a time for 7 seconds. And then without stopping, raise it another inch for 3 seconds, and then go all the way back up for a slow count of 7. And then you don't stop. You do the other 2 sets. And it was one of the hardest things I've ever done with weights. I'm sitting there going, I can't believe this. I'm not using as much weight, and I'm just going really slow. My muscles, you know, had a burning feeling that I had never experienced before doing all those repetitions and sets before. Now, according to the book, they do want you to go to failure or fatigue, where you can't, you know, work the weight anymore. And there I was after 3 reps in total failure, and I couldn't believe it. But I was excited. I went, oh my gosh, that's crazy. You know, I'm normally on this machine for long periods of time doing all these varied sets and multiple reps, and all I did was 3, and I'm done. And so I went and did the rest of my normal exercises using this technique, the slow burn, and it was hilarious because the gym was kind of full, and all the other people who were doing their lists were going so fast. I mean, if you would have had a camera there, you would have died laughing because they're all going up and down so fast on all these machines, and I'm just sitting there just holding it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm doing it so slow, and they're looking at me like, oh my God, what is wrong with her? And so by the end of my workout, it took about 30 minutes. My body felt incredible. I mean, I felt challenged, regenerated. I actually felt taller and stronger. And after 2 days, I can still feel it. Now, I'm a person who loves to work out, and so even though I'm starting to get hooked on the slow burn, I'm not ready to give up my morning jogging down by the water, my power vinyasa. But I can see how this would certainly work into any routine and make you feel better at anything that you do physically, like if you play sports, if you run. I mean, it's going to make your muscles stronger. So it actually works on not only muscle endurance and muscle strength, it also works flexibility, and it gets the muscles strong enough so that your muscles can move you to get your good cardiovascular endurance. And so I'm excited, and thanks, Dad, for introducing me to this workout. I'm going to keep doing it. My daughter also wants me to try what's called the orange theory, and I don't know if any of you have seen or heard of this before, but it's a challenging, high-intensity interval training exercise workout where you wear a heart monitor, and your workout is monitored not only by you, but by everyone to see. And when you hit the orange zone, you are close to your max. And so I will probably try it and hope I don't die. But my daughter's wedding is coming up in January, and it's in Cancun, so it's something I will probably try, and I'll let you know how it worked for me. But for right now, I kind of like the slow burn and would recommend it to anyone who wants to change the resistance training program, especially if they have any injuries or limitations and want to try something new. So we'll be back with more Pep Talk right after this.
With a little shark sense, you can improve your life. Shark Sense, a new book by Sharky Zartman, is a book that can teach you survival instincts. It pumps you up to live your life fully regardless of what life dishes out. Shark Sense, a fast read with tested principles right from the shark's survival traits. You can do anything. Tap into your inner shark and get your copy of Shark Sense right now. Available at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and at sharksense.org.
Attention Kmart shoppers. Now you get Kmart on HealthyLife.net. Kmart carries over 70,000 items like Martha Stewart's Everyday Products, apparel by Jacqueline Smith, Joe Boxer, Route 66, appliances, jewelry, and more. Everything you need. Plus, you'll get exciting weekly promotions. Go to HealthyLife.net's homepage and click on Kmart, and then you're there. And you even avoided the crowds.
I love food, and I love to eat. The cooking and cleaning part, not so much. Then I found a link to the chef's catalog on the HealthyLife.net advertiser page, and I was happy to find all sorts of amazing recipes and tips on cooking, in addition to great chef-quality kitchen equipment and savings as well. Now I look forward to my time in the kitchen thanks to chef's catalog on the HealthyLife.net advertiser page.
HealthyLife.net, where positive overcomes negative.
We are back with more Pep Talk, and next up is Lisa Dalton, a speaker, author, and professional life coach who specializes in life transitions and personal and professional creative expressions. As a coach for nearly 15 years, she brings a wide range of experience and success in helping others to live true. She's a contributing author to several inspiring books and the co-author of You Are Loved, an email memoir. So welcome, Lisa.
Hi, how you doing, Sharky?
I'm doing great. I'm so excited to get to talk to you. And it was fun meeting you at the writing workshop in Esalen. And I have to say, I really enjoyed listening to your writing.
Oh, thank you. Well, yours too. You are very talented. And what an amazing group we were. Oh, my gosh. I really enjoyed it. And Catherine, too. In fact, I've listened to her on your show.
Oh, great. Yeah. So she's got so much going on. What a busy lady.
I know. Absolutely.
Well, besides writing, you also, we got to talking, you were also a successful life coach. And I know you specialize in transitions and creative expressions. So what types of transitions do you help your clients get through?
Well, Sharky, I've worked with so many people going through sort of a metamorphosis, whether it's coming out of the corporate world into an entrepreneurial life, coming through a divorce, empty nest, people who are trying to shift to a more satisfying and meaningful way of living their life. And I try to help them really draw out what they are most gifted with and what they're most drawn to, and in some ways give them permission to pursue it. I think some people just really need someone to say, go get them, it's okay. It's, it's a good thing for you to pursue what you love and not sort of limit themselves by the confines of what they think they should do.
Okay. How would you consider yourself different from other life coaches, because there's so many out there?
There are a lot of us, and when I came on the scene as a coach many years ago, I had to actually educate people about what a life coach was, and now a lot of people are very familiar. I think what I bring to this profession is I came to it as a client. I know the power of it. I still work with my own coaches for different things. I've worked with a writing coach, and I've worked with a business coach over the years, and I really feel that my gift is perspective and really helping people see things from a different angle. And I love it. It feels like a calling for me. So I really believe that there are many, many gifted coaches out there. It's really a matter of who do you resonate with and feel that you can trust to help guide you along.
Yeah, I think that's really important, because some people treat their clients like one size fits all. They all give them all the same prescription, right?
Absolutely, and I tend to work more with women. I do work with men also. I like the idea, too, of sharing my own personal journey in the process where it offers empathy. And I think one of the things that happens, particularly in therapy, is there's this hierarchy of, I'm going to know everything about you and you know absolutely nothing about me. So I really try to be collaborative with my clients and share my journey and whatever I've learned from it that can help them move along maybe even faster than I could.
Yeah, I think that's important, because nobody wants to talk to somebody up on a pedestal who doesn't understand what they're going through.
Right, and you don't know what they're going through. I think there's a real importance of having empathy and sharing with someone your own struggles so that they don't feel that there's some superiority or something. Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly. Now, you use the phrase, live true. What does that mean, to live true?
I think for me, live true means being honest about who you are in the world, what you need, and what you here to offer. It's about authenticity, which is a word that's been used a lot in the last few years, not just in the coaching world, but overall. And it has a lot to do with acceptance. I think living true and being true is rooted in honesty and truth, and that starts with yourself.
Okay.
So living true to who you are means taking the time and sometimes effort to finding out who you truly are.
Right. How do you find out what's true for each of your clients? Some of them probably don't even know what's true for them.
Well, most of them don't. That's why they find me and call me. I would say that it's a real series of inquiry asking the right questions, but also giving someone the space to share what their fears are and what their dreams are and their hopes. And again, back to that permission piece. I think a lot of times people feel shy or embarrassed or somehow shameful of really showing up with their truth. So I offer a safe place for them to explore what means something to them. I think meaning is something in life that's so important and sometimes doesn't really come through until we're older. Mm-hmm. The younger people that I work with are very concerned with how they appear to the rest of the world and fitting in. And I think that standing out is much more powerful than fitting in. Exactly.
Well, our health can be affected in certain ways if we are not true to ourselves. Do you want to tell us some of the consequences of not being true to yourself and authentic?
Oh, my gosh. Absolutely. Stress is really at the root of it. Again, if you're pretending to be something you're not and you're working really hard to please other people in ways that are not comfortable, as you know, you can have a physiological response to that, ulcers and cancer and a lot of dis-ease is really manifested by things eating at you. Even the words we use about not feeling well, are manifestations of not being able to express yourself. You have a lump in your throat, or you have, your stomach hurts because you're not expressing who you are. I think all of those things come from in some ways either hiding or pretending to be what you are not in the world.
Okay. So how do we know what's true for us? I know you ask certain questions. What are some of the questions you ask your clients so that they can get comfortable with who they are?
That's a great question. One of the really simple questions is, what do you want? What do you really want? If you could take away all the shoulds in your life, all of the ways in which you're doing what's expected, what do you want? What are you not doing in your life or not being in your life because you feel someone will judge you? And also, what feels like enough? There's a lot of people extending themselves because they think they're not enough. And I really try to help people see just how wonderful they really are.
Okay, super, Lisa. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, I'm going to talk a little bit about your writing because you shared some of it at the workshop, and I want to see where you are in the progress of your book, and so I hope you get it out soon. Okay.
Thank you so
Ready
much.
to go there? Okay, we'll be back with more Pep Talk and Lisa Dalton right after this.
With a little Shark Sense, you can improve your life. Shark Sense, a new book by Sharky Zartman, is a book that can teach you survival instincts. It pumps you up to live your life fully regardless of what life dishes out. Shark Sense, a fast read with tested principles right from the shark's survival traits. You can do anything. Tap into your inner shark and get your copy of Shark Sense right now. Available at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and at sharksense.org.
One of the best things about the technology available today is being able to listen to HealthyLife.net on the go or while I'm at work. Typically, headphones or earphones are required, and let's face it, sometimes they break or get worn out or lost. To find my latest solution to this, I found the Earphone Solutions website while browsing the HealthyLife.net advertiser page. There are plenty of options from basic inexpensive on-the-go earphones to studio-quality headphones for when I really have time to enjoy everything from rock to Bach. Earphone Solutions on the HealthyLife.net advertiser page.
For all your live or pre-recorded webcasting needs, come to earthchannel.com. Get your web-based message out to a select group or the whole world. It's easy. A pioneer in webcasting, earthchannel.com provides the best products and services to big corporations and government users. And now, this same technology is available to you. They have the best earthcast encoders, servers, and products to meet your technical needs. But wait, don't want to mess with technical stress? No problem. They'll do it for you. earthchannel.com is your answer. You can use webcasting for lots of things, like advertising, marketing, customer support, training, and don't forget, web radio and TV. In fact, you're listening to a live Earthcast right now, so come to earthchannel.com. Actualize your audio or video webcasting needs today. You can't beat the friendly service or the price. Call earthchannel.com at 800-849-8978. That's 800-849-8978.
If you like to spend your television viewing time learning about some of the things that you may have missed in history class, or if history was your favorite subject, then you should check out the link to the History Channel on the HealthyLife.net advertiser page. Order DVD sets by series or by subject matter right from our homepage while you still enjoy your favorite HealthyLife.net show.
You're listening to HealthyLife.net. Millions of listeners know the secret. Now you do too. Positive talk 24 hours a day, every day.
Welcome back to Pep Talk. I'm here with Lisa Dalton, and she's a speaker, author, and professional life coach. And Lisa, we've been talking about your coaching and how you get them to live true. But on this part, I'd like to talk a little bit more about your writing, because you shared some of the writing that you're doing for your memoir. And your story is amazing. Can you share a little bit of your story with us?
Sure. My book and my working title is True. Again, working with the idea of being true to who you are. I grew up in the Midwest, and when I was about 13, I learned that my father was gay, and it put my life in a little bit of a tailspin in the 70s in the Midwest that felt very shameful and difficult to wrap my brain around. Mm-hmm. And over the years, other family members have come out, and my book is really about how I managed my relationship with my father and have come to learn about how to accept him and who he was, and how that's helped me accept myself. I think that at the core of living true is really acceptance, and we learn a lot as we get older. So my journey with my dad and what that's taught me about being true to who you are is really at the heart of my story. Okay, perfect. How far along are you? Well, I want to say I'm probably about 20,000 words, which is, several chapters. Mm-hmm. It's a journey. I've been working on, as you mentioned, the challenge. It's National Novel Writing Month and Life Writing Month, and so 50,000 words in a month is the challenge. I have just about cracked 10,000, so I'm behind the goal, but I am further along than I was at the beginning of November. It's a real process to pull out your memories and look at them objectively and really see who you become since those memories occurred, whether it was at 13 or 23. Catherine did a wonderful exercise with us at 12, at 22, at 20, right. At 32, that in our writer's retreat, and I've used that as somewhat of a model, actually, in mapping out my chapters about what I believed at 22 and 32 and 42 about my relationship to my dad. Okay, so you're using this writing challenge to work on your book. I am, exactly. Okay. Yeah. I would think that when I sit down and write, when I get to a certain point, things don't seem coherent anymore, and so I have to stop. If you're trying to write 50,000 words in 1 month, do you feel that way? I do, and I set out. I'm in a writers group here in Alameda, and they're wonderful. Most of them are novelists, and they love this challenge of just sitting down and writing until they can't even think. And I found that as a memoirist, it's a tougher thing because I'm mining for memories of a story that's actually true, and I set out to join my group, and I'm letting myself off the hook to just write as many words as I can and just to try to write every day, because I think that's really the thing that's hardest for writers is to just sit in that chair and start. Even if you only walk away having written, 100 words or two, it's still further than the day before.
Right. Okay, well, good luck with that. And you were telling me about an email memoir that you actually published online, You Are Loved. When you told me about it, I thought, gosh, wasn't that really personal? Why did you publish it?
It is really personal, and my partner Marco published it together, and it's really 10 years of an email exchange between us while we were living across the country from one another. And so, because we're both writers, so much of it was really deep and personal discussion, but also helpful for other people, others that we had shared different segments with in our lives personally were very interested in sharing it with their friends, different thoughts on life and love and raising children and difficult relationship and God and all kinds of things that shape our lives. So we decided to put it out in the world because there were words there that we felt could help other people on their journey.
Okay, very interesting. And so you have this, what's the website where we can read your memoir?
Our memoir it's available on Amazon. It's You Are Loved, an email memoir. And there's also a website, Luca Fiore, LuccaFiore.com, which are our pen names. And you can read about 3 chapters on Amazon or the website to see if it's something that you're interested in.
Okay, perfect. And when do you think your new book will be available?
I'm hoping for sometime next year. My goal is to have a rough draft finished by the end of this year, if possible, or into January, and then go into that lovely editing process. So I know most writing is rewriting.
Exactly.
So I'm really hoping to have it out next year.
I'm interested. What does your dad think of you writing this?
Well, my dad passed away a couple of years ago.
Oh, okay.
And he was very much a fan of my writing and loved our You Are Loved book. So I believe that he's with me on the journey, and he may not agree with everything I would say, but I think he would be really proud that I'm writing our story.
Okay, awesome. And you're coaching, so what do you charge?
I generally charge $125 a session, and I do packages, so it really is about commitment. And so people who are interested in really committing to a particular goal or a process, I will do a package if they commit to 6 or 8 sessions. I have people that have worked for years with me off and on, and people that just come and work for 2-3 months. And I am willing to offer all of your listeners an introductory session to see if it's something that they would like.
Okay. And typically, how long do they stay with you? Do 6 or 8 sessions? Is that usually the end, or do people come back and do another one, or how do you gauge that?
It really varies, Sharky. Most people will do 6 or 8 sessions around a particular thing they're working on. I've worked with entrepreneurs where we start off weekly or biweekly, and then they keep me around once a month.
Okay.
Stay on track. I also have clients I've worked with for several years that come back and forth for different things in their life that make sense for them to get support and some sort of game plan going with someone else who holds them accountable.
Okay, and what's your website?
LisaDalton.net.
LisaDalton.net. Okay. Thanks, Lisa, for joining us. That was really fun today. So nice to hear your voice again. And
you too.
Best of luck to you.
Thank you, and to you too, Sharky. Thanks so much for having me on.
Sure. We'll be back to wrap up right after this.
With a little shark sense, you can improve your life. Shark Sense, a new book by Sharky Zartman, is a book that can teach you survival instincts. It pumps you up to live your life fully regardless of what life dishes out. Shark Sense, a fast read with tested principles right from the shark's survival traits. You can do anything. Tap into your inner shark and get your copy of Shark Sense right now. Available at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and at sharksense.org.
With so many wonderful authors appearing as guests on HealthyLife.net, you can easily support their work by browsing the Barnes & Noble link on our advertiser page. Browse for books or even an ebook, DVDs, movies, music, games, gift cards, and more. Find the Barnes & Noble link on the HealthyLife.net advertiser page.
Pep it up with positive energy power right here on HealthyLife.net.
Hey, thanks for joining us today on Pep Talk, and to my special guests, Mike Gellman and Lisa Dalton. Until next time, I'm Sharky Zartman, and here's to your inner shark.